In this video, I will be showing you my foundation, contour, and highlight routine. This is what the look is, so if you are interested, please keep watching. Also, I have this exact eyeshadow look in a separate video that I will link below. To start off, since I already moisturized, I'm using Makeup Forever HD Primer. I squirt a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm using a flat kabuki brush. This one is by Tarte. I will dip that onto the back of my hand and then just spread everything around evenly onto my skin, all over my cheeks, my forehead, everywhere that I am going to be putting foundation. And because my skin is a very dry skin type, I'm not even going to let this dry. I'm just going to move right into concealer. And what I'm using is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer with a concealer brush. The color is NW25. I dab a little bit underneath my eyes, and then I take the brush and just continue to spread everything around, taking it all the way up to where my eyeliner is and to where the wing of my eyeshadow stops, all the way to the inner corner of my eye, and then down over the tops of my cheeks because I am working to cover any freckles, uneven skin tone, and redness that I have. I also take this on both sides and over the top of my nose because I also have a lot of uneven skin tone in that area as well. I just really take my time and blend this out. And then I also take it up between the eyes and onto my forehead to where I also have other areas that I feel that I want to cover. Moving on to the foundation, I am using Makeup Forever HD Foundation, and this is in the shade N127. I do the same thing I do with the primer. I squirt on the back of my hand and take little bits at a time, spreading this all over my face. And I'm also using the same kabuki brush that I was using by Tarte, and I'm also using the bigger end of that. And what I do with my foundation is wherever I start with that, I just continue to try and pick up where there might be just a little bit more foundation than there is in other places and spread it around as much as I can before dipping the brush back into the pile that I put on my hand. And then I do my lower areas like my chin and my jawline and move on to my forehead, and really taking my time moving everything around, making sure it is pressed into my skin and to where it's not going to go anywhere. Then I'm using Stroke of Light by Bare Minerals as a liquid highlighter. I add this underneath both eyes, and then I'm using the opposite end of that Tarte brush just because it's smaller, and I'm really just blending this out, pushing it all the way up to where my eyeliner ends, to the inner corner of my eye, and back towards my hairline on my cheek. I'm also going to add some of this on the Cupid's bow area because that is going to make my top lip look a little bit fuller, and using the same brush is how I blend that in. I also take this on my forehead and down the center of my nose, and again using the same brush, just blending everything in. Next, I'm going to use the Fenty Matchsticks Trio. I'm going to use the Mocha one for a contour. I'm going to take this and draw a small line that would line up the top of my ear to the corner of my mouth, but not going all the way down. I'm just going to use the same foundation brush I've been using just so everything blends in really nice. And I just pull that down a little bit lower than where I drew the line. And then when I'm at the area that's closer to my hairline, I do blend up a little bit and also down a little bit. Then I take that same thing and I do the corners on my forehead. And after I blend that in, I just pull it a little bit more towards the center from both sides. And also with this, I will line my lower lip just very lightly to make my bottom lip look a little bit more full and blend it out. Then I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Fix setting powder. I'm also going to use the number 7 powder brush. This is just like a Bare Minerals loose powder, so you just use a little bit. You can see that I put too much on my brush at first. But what I do with this is I just lightly cover my entire face, and that way everything that I put on previous to this is just going to stay on the rest of the day. Next, I'm going to use the Anastasia Contour Kit, and I'm going to use the center shade on the bottom row. I'm going to use a Bare Minerals bronzing brush, and with this I'm just going to enhance everything that I contoured with the Fenty Matchsticks just to give it a little bit more of a pop, and also with a powder finish. And I basically just apply this everywhere that I applied the cream contour that I did earlier. Next, I'm going to use my absolute favorite highlighting powder. It is by Smashbox and its shade is Soft Light. I'm also using a Morphe E3 brush, and I just apply this everywhere that I put a highlight earlier, so down my nose, my forehead, and under my eyes, just to give it an extra highlight. This is the finished foundation look right here, and then this is after applying lips and eyebrows. And for my eyebrows, I always use Anastasia products ranging in the shades soft brown and dark brown. For my lips, I used a Kylie lip kit in the shade Dolce K. I hope you like how the look turned out, and if you do, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you for watching.